It will be a fantastic race, and there's the green flag. We're underway at Donington Park. Kerry Nolan has got around the outside of Christian Koch.
Midler getting quite hard on that curve there. It might give actually Kerry Nolan a run down the hill there. And Kerry Nolan claiming that inside line for the fast right-hander here. And he will just get that moved up. And Midler might just have gotten one there as he touches the grass and actually spins. Avoids the wall though just about. Nienhuis looking pretty comfortable out in the lead right now. But oh, his car just disappeared there.
I believe that might be a technical issue that has just struck here. Renault Osterkamp running it a little bit wide actually, and there he gets a massive twist. Oh my word! Oh my word! To cash set to the roller coaster. Oh, look at that! They come out together. The pit stops at the line. The old hairpin, he will come along and he runs it very wide. And oh my word! Another fantastic save. He picks up a 4th race win this season. His name's Jean-Francois Godin, and catch him if you can. Welcome one and all to the AOR Formula Renault 2.0 Championship Season 1, round number 8. The road to Interlagos, well, it hits its 2nd British track in a row after a superb race that we saw last time out at Donington Park. We are here at possibly the proverbial home of British racing now. We're here at Silverstone, but not the layout you'll be familiar with. No, we're using a classic historic layout. We're going to forget all about Abbey. We're going to forget about all this nonsense of the arena section. We're going to go pure, flat out, 100%. Jake Sparey and everyone's favourite commentator, it's Fisi.
Thanks, Jake. And hello again, everyone. Yeah, a lot of good racing last time out at Donington, and this is not a British track, a very different British track, of course. And with the historic layout, we'll surely see some very fast and action-packed racing today.
Most certainly we will, and well, there'll be a heavy impetus on the man leading the championship, number 99, Jean-Francois Godin for Zephyr Racing, newly formed. He now has a full gap of 39 points in the championship. He has the target on his back, but enough about him, because we're heading over now to your qualifying report. A fantastic qualifying once again, and Gunnar Nienhuis in the carbon racing machine. He sets pole with a 1:36.245, a driver who in his last 2 appearances here at Silverstone has crashed out both times, so it'll be interesting to see whether he can survive it today. He's joined on the front row by Renault Osterkamp, a stunning result there for the German. He puts his car 0.083 behind the man who's known as Gunnar Nienhuis. Row 2 sees the current championship leader there of Jean-Francois Godin for Zephyr Racing, 3rd, with Michael Mittner of LM Rennsport behind. Row 3, Kerry Nolan and Andy Cowie there for LM Rennsport, 2nd of the cars. They're an all-British affair. All-Austrian affair there on row number 4, because you've got Christian Koch, 2nd of the Zephyr Racing cars, and the long-lost cousin to Manuel Neuer. It's Manuel Hoyer there in 8th position. Row 5 sees Phil Reed there, joined with Kinducci's Robert Plumley, very experienced driver there as we look now onto the 2nd page. Row 6, Swiss superstar Patrick Kessler there, joined alongside by the Scotsman Evan Imre. Row 7 sees a reunion then from AOR Red there. You can see Lee N. Robinson and Knut Martinsen together. Of course, Martinsen formerly an AOR Blue driver, but now he's Force Visi for the moment. Row number 8 sees Christoph Leister and Frederick Johansson here at the moment, with Vittorio Satalamacchi and Richard Grimley there behind on row number 9. Row 10, Jamie Colden, last of the drivers, setting a lap time. Chris Robinson there in 20th position there, setting a, well, not even setting a time. 2 drivers also on the 3rd page, smallest grid of the year so far, 22 drivers, Steve Kagerer and Dontagen Bellafronte. Welcome to the grid then, ladies and gentlemen. They can see the cars wrapping around Woodcote, the final corner. Lights are on top of the gantry there, just waiting for these cars to get underway. And, well, there you can see Lee N. Robinson just waiting to get his car up and underway. Lights on, lights off. We're here. It's round number 8, and we're underway here at the circuit of Silverstone. Into turn number 1, they come along. Already Osterkamp in trouble here. He looks to be swamped as they try to go 3 wide into turn number 1. Copse corner, not going to happen. Nienhuis out and away, similar to what he did back at Donington Park there. Very comfortable, but they're going to continue battling here. They're going to go 3 wide. Here they go, 2 wide now. Here, as you look at Michael Mittner, Jean-Francois Godin, championship leader. Here, fantastic battling as they head themselves through Chapel now. Right-hander, they've just been through Maggotts and Beckett, and now Nolden wants a piece. Now Phil Reed wants a piece. He's had a stellar start again, Fizzy. Down a hanger straight for the first time. Well, they could go 3 wide here.
Yeah, indeed. It's some really close and clean racing. Beautiful start at the front from Nienhuis, but these guys are still going at it with Godin on the inside of Michael Mittner through Stowe, I believe. And he looks to pull ahead, but Mittner is going to claim the inside for the next fast left-hander, which is obviously the first of the unusual corners, I guess you can say, with historical layout. And oh, Jake! There's a crash at the back!
Yes, there is. There's Johansson involved, and 5 or 6 cars involved at the very back of it. They're unfortunate indeed, and well, you cannot claim that wasn't anything. Now, in through Abbey here, normally you take the chicane, you're not going to do that this time. Nolden ran the outside as they head for Bridge, the right-hander here as they head under an aptly named bridge into Priory then. The left-hand they come along. Kerry Nolden has unfortunately dropped a position so far. Of course, he's a guy who, whenever he's come here, he has won. So maybe the Godfather not quite finding the offer he cannot refuse here. And well, actually, he's got to be careful here. Christian Koch behind. Bit of drama there in the opening start to this race here, Fizzy, but you have to say, Gunnar Nienhuis out and away for the time being.
Yeah, fantastic first lap for him. Couldn't ask for any more. And Osterkamp as well, looking good. Quite pulled out a little bit of gap as well in second place. Oh, and we got side by side with Phil Reed taking that inside line through Cops on Jean-Francois Godin, the championship leader, dropping down to 5th position and maybe even put under Reed's teammate now. Nolan trying, or at least just showing himself in the in Godin's mirrors there into Maggotts Beckett's. Obviously not quite the place for overtaking, but he will line himself now up through Beckett's with a good exit maybe to get a slipstream and potentially a move down into Stowe.
Yes, certainly down a hanger straight. They come along for the second time. 32 laps, 1 mandatory pit stop, and well, you have to look at Kerry Nolden here. He's closing. Season 1, AOR Pro Master Champion to the inside. Won't get a chance to look here as they head for Vale here. This small kink left-hander here as it is this time by. You can see just a light tap on the brakes before heading into the right-hander then of Club Corner. Here you can see on the right-hand side, no developed pit exit there. Actually, Kerry Nolden running extremely wide in order to try and maximise his run. Not going to happen for the time being here, but you can see just how important everything is. Getting run. Actually, Godin's going to come back at Phil Reed here. Fantastic battling. We stay on board through Bridge to the inside. Reed will hold that outside line inside for Priory. Makes that one look very comfortable. Small twitches, Fizzy, but for the time being, they're going to hold line astern.
Yeah, indeed. It's a very tricky section, this final sector of the lap. It's, actually that corner that just went through is the slowest corner, along with this one on the circuit on this historical lap where we don't have the chicanes in the middle of the lap. And in Oldham, not quite getting the best exit there. He's going to be put under pressure from Christian Koch, who's shown a great pace in his first 3 races in the league and now might be pressuring the Pro Master Season 1 champion. But Nolan covering him off on the inside and Koch getting really close to his gearbox there. Slightly tapping it even, and that's going to lose on speed and maybe also the position to Andy Cowie, who takes that going into Maggotts and moving himself up to P number 7.
Yes, Andy Cowie then doing a fantastic job to get past Christian Koch there of Zephyr Racing. And well, you have to look at Andy Cowie. He is looking to try and push himself through the field, and actually Jean-Francois Godin, possibility to go back. Don't end up with Michael Schumacher 99 happening, breaking your leg down here at Stowe. On the inside, he'll go trying to the inside. Phil Reed holding that traditional outside. Phil Reed special, possibly held over the grass. He goes along, but he continues the line as he heads for Vale and Club. And well, Phil Reed holds for the time being. Of course, now into the right-hander they come along. And for Jean-Francois Godin, it seems that he's trying everything, running incredibly wide again. There as he tries to get that run, you can see really close underneath that gearbox as he into the left-hander of Abbey, and well, he's possibly going to have another chance to go to the inside through Bridge. Is he? No, he's going to wait for the time being here, wait for that opportunity now as they head to the left-hander of Priory and heading towards Brooks. Actually, Phil Reed's going to lose it, and there's contact. Championship leader makes contact with Phil Reed. Cars are going to find themselves scrapping around, and well, look at Manuel Hoyer. He's the one who's gained out of all of this, and now Mittner. And oh no, that's Patrick Kessler going around. Teammates technically collide, and well, same for I believe Robert Plumley as well involved. It's all kicked off, Fizzy.
Oh man, that is just a very cruel chain of events there has happened for several people getting caught up. Cowie losing out a lot, obviously. Phil Reed dropping down to 13th position now because of he obviously kind of started his chain reaction with just losing the back end through the very tricky turn at number 13. And, well, Godin getting caught up. Remains to be seen whether any of the other cars have damaged. Phil Redo has lost a lot of positions.
Yes, he has, and I think he does have some slight damage. I think you can see the wheel was turned ever so slightly to the left-hand side. That indicates that there might be a little bit of a suspension issue that he has to deal with. Manuel Hoyer, what a start he's had. He's up 2. He's now into 6th, chasing down Jean-Francois Godin. Second race of his season. Wow, that says quite a lot about where you want to put yourself here. And maybe, just maybe, Jean-Francois Godin is struggling here because Kerry Nolden got out of the way and he is gone. And nobody, and I mean nobody, is catching Kerry Nolden there from 4th at the moment. And it seems that I got my names a little bit mixed muddled up there because it was Andy Cowie actually catching Patrick Kessler there, as I incorrectly stated earlier on. But for the time being, we're going to focus on this one. Actually, look how close Manuel Hoyer is getting. Fantastic run, side by side, Fisi, into that right-hander. This has changed the championship here because Jean-Francois Godin's having to defend very hard for having what should be a perfect car, which clearly isn't at this stage.
Yeah, you have to wonder whether Godin might have some damage from tagging the back of Phil Reid, as Manuel Hoyer looking very good in this battle right now, even though Godin managed to defend well through turn 12 and 13, and Christian Koch, of course, trying to get involved as well as Nienhaus out in front, not bothered too much from any cars at the moment, setting a fastest lap of the race again, as it's done for all of the first few laps, I think, and we might have some side-by-side action now for P9 in the race with Evan Imre and Martinsen, both having gained a bit from that incident that happened on the previous lap, and they keep battling, and Phil Reid actually gained back a position now on Andy Cowie, and I think both of them might have a bit of damage. I actually can see on the right front of Cowie's car, the front wing seems to be slightly bent there.
Yes, you can. And well, Manuel Hoyer now under threat from the other Zephyr Racing car. That's Christian Koch. Down the hangar straight they come along. Pit stop window. Well, we're looking at anything from around lap number 14 to 18. Looks like it's going to be the most viable option. Of course, running a little bit later, it's going to be advantageous. Your stops go less, as Manuel Hoyer there has just lost out the position, possibly. Will still have the inside for Vale, but the nose is chopped. Fantastic move from Christian Koch. He made sure that his Austrian compatriot wouldn't make the move at all. As we look here at Martinsen, who runs a little bit wide, actually, and Robert Plumley now firmly on the back of the Norwegian here. And well, you can see just how important it's going to be as they head to the left-hander of Abbey here and heading towards Bridge. Plumley with the inside, but you know, you can hold that outside line. Can you hold that outside line? Oh yes, he can, but he's going to run incredibly wide. Take to the gravel, lose 2 positions. Martinsen, a mistake that didn't need to happen.
Yeah, that is a tricky one, going around the outside on that corner. You have to get it pitch, spot on to do that. Oh, and actually, Plumley throwing some cones up in the air there. That is not quite the line. He's lost out of Phil Reid, who is up to 10th now all of a sudden, really picking off these guys very quickly indeed. Plumley didn't quite see what caused that, but he lost some time. And Hoyer now still defending hard from Chris. Oh no, that's Godin actually. They've swapped around now. Yeah, I completely missed that actually. Koch up to 5th place, and Godin has dropped behind Hoyer, so the Zephyr cars just swapped around him.
Yes, they have, and that just sums it up there. You can see Jean-Francois Godin now has damage. Cowie and Martinsen battle for 12th place out on circuit. You can see there, just look at that front left there. Or, well, from our perspective, it's the right-hand tyre here for Andy Cowie. There, you can see the wing is bent up massively. How on earth is he going on? Actually, Patrick Kessler, LM Racing sister team, kind of like Red Bull Toro Rosso going through for LM Racing there. And well, through will go to Swiss Superstar, upper position there. He is down 2 currently from where he started off. And actually there, you can see it there, it sums up more than anything. And well, you can say, Fizzy, that there is so much turbulence now that's going to go on. There is so much unsettling with the car. It is so difficult in this situation to actually understand how much more added pressure there is on the car when you're driving at that sort of speed with that sort of damage.
Yeah, exactly. And for Cowie, he probably hasn't seen the front wing. Obviously, can't see that from the cockpit, so he isn't quite aware of the damage that he has. But surely felt the huge straight line speed difference when he was passed by Kessler there down the hangar straight. It's quite obvious to see. And now he's losing the back end as well. He's going from bad to worse for Andy Cowie, previous championship leader this season, and he's down to 50th place now with Saltalamacchia also going ahead of him.
50th place? Oh, wow. That's a massive drop there, but he's gone down to 50th. Phil Reed to the inside of Evan Imre makes that one look very comfortable. I don't think Imre was contesting that one too hard, but you can see he's going to get a fantastic run through Cop's corner, turn number 1. Might have to look into Maggots, and then Beckett's here, the left, then the right, and it's the most beautiful section of corners in all of racing. Then the left again, and then another right. The thing about Silverstone is it's incredibly quick. It's an old World War II airfield, and well, what's also to know about that is there is hardly any elevation change, and it shows that you do not need to make massive hills in order to make a fantastic race circuit. You can see Imre going even closer, trying to be Nigel Mansell around the outside possibly. Here as they head themselves down into Stoke Corner. No, not going to happen. You cannot do a Phil Reed special if you're Evan Imre there. Not by any stretch of the imagination.
No, it's hard for anyone but Phil Reed to pull that one off to the quality he usually does anyway. But I just want to actually bring back the first lap incident that we saw right at the back of the field, just to confirm who is out of the race. Steve Kager, Richard Grimley, Frederick Johansson and Jamie Coldham, unfortunately all affected with too much damage to continue in the race. That is a big shame for the race of those guys. And one thing we actually also missed at the start of the race, Leister was missing from the grid despite having qualified, so he started in the pit lane, and maybe some technical issues there. He's still running, but I believe he's 1 or 2 laps down and in 18th at the moment.
Yes, we are. We're looking at Phil Reed and Jean-Francois Godin 2. Electric Boogaloo into Cop's corner. And well, Jean-Francois Godin can't do anything here. He's struggling. He's falling like a stone. And well, you talk about moments that define championships. This could be the turning point where Jean-Francois Godin's name has got his number up sorted. And well, with the rumours going around that he might miss the last race of the season at Interlagos, well, it's massive. This is absolutely huge for Godin. He is losing time so much. And here comes Evan Imre and Robert Plumley behind. Battle for 10th position on circuit. Vital points at stake still down here. Plumley, Kinducci racing to the inside. And well, will he make the move stick? The incredibly veteran driver. And well, actually, as I can't English properly there, they're going to remain side by side. No, he makes the move sorted there as behind. You can see Patrick Kessler and Martinsen Fisi. Yeah,
all these guys scrapping for whatever points they can get. Imre and Plumley running quite solidly relative to their usual standards, in the middle of the points positions. And, obviously all those points will be vital for them where they are in the championship. It's super close down there in the mid-pack of the standings. So any points is vital. And Imre, both of these guys really veterans of the championship. They haven't quite found the speed of some of the top guys, but they really, really know how to drive this car regardless.
Yes, talking about top guys, Gunnar Nienhaus, 136.4. He's going purple and purple again. Here is Donstian Bella Fronte getting it wrong. That Stowe corner there, tagging the wall, doing a Tom Van Human nose impersonation there. And well, it hasn't worked out for the 996 for Team DNA SRG. And well, he will have to possibly retire that car. Not ideal for a driver languishing towards the back. And actually, Phil Reed here we're going to look at, because he's closing up on Lee N. Robinson, number 1 versus number 32, Aperture Motorsport versus Robinson Racing. And well, if you could use a portal to get to Carrie Nolden, well, Phil Reed would be very glad about that. But for the time being, he's going to have to hold station here down the hangar straight as we look at Manuel Hoyer.
Yeah, indeed. Hoyer running very, very well in 6th position right now. That's certainly a lot better than what he did his debut last time out. Oh no, Hoyer! Just to say that, commentator curse, and he's gone and smashed, well, not smashed, he's tapped the barrier there. Going to lose a lot of position here as the field just streams through on the track while he tries to recover. And down to 13th place for Hoyer. 7 positions dropped. As, big shame for him. But the battle rages on with these guys. Reed still trying to put the pressure on Robinson.
Most certainly there, and what cost Manuel Hoyer here as Phil Reed looks to go round the outside. Oh, hello, X-Matty G. I didn't know you were in the commentary box. In through the left-hander of Priory here they come along, and now into Brooklands here, a second left-hander, slowest part of the circuit as they head for the final corner. This is Luffield, the right-hander. You can see different contrasting lines here. Lillian Robinson there trying to get the better exit here. I don't think that's quite worked here for Phil Reed here. He's going to be pushing harder and harder still here as he looks ahead towards Cop's corner here. Lap number 11, so pit stop window right around the corner to the inside. No, he's going to wait for the time being here. But what you have to say is that reverse gear has cost Manuel Hoyer there. He could have saved only 5 positions there, but instead he has lost himself 7.
Indeed, and Reed still putting the pressure on Lee and Robinson through Maggots and Beckett's now. Very very fun section to drive in the car, but also pretty tricky to keep the car stable. You really need a nice setup through there, and that's kind of the main section that makes you want quite high downforce despite the long straights. And the slipstream game is strong, as you can see. Phil Reed, despite having the option to go inside there, we know him very well. He always chooses the outside when he knows he can pull it off, and this time he surely knows it. And Robinson trying to fight as hard as he can, but Reed's nose just too far ahead, and it gets that position nailed in. Up to 6th again, after obviously having that incident earlier that dropped him down to 13th. He's had a really good comeback drive, as he usually does, to be scoring some solid points again, but the gap seems pretty strong, pretty big even, to Koch, and Robinson might actually challenge him back here.
Yes, we're going to go side by side once again. Phil Reed to the outside here as well. He's going to make sure that he gets the inside for Priory. Brave attempt. Leanne Robinson had the inside at bridge. Didn't quite work as we look at Evan Imre. Oh, he's got a little bit of a slide, bit of a slide. He's going to go across the circuit. He's going to stop it on the racing line. But Evan Imre is going to have to wait for the time being here. He's dropped back down outside your top 10 to 12th position on circuit. And well, it's just a little bit of a problem here because a couple of guys are struggling. Leanne Robinson here is starting to fall back. Phil Reed coming back through the field like a steam train right now. Well, you talk about certain things going along, and well, for Phil Reed, he's really pushing. He's really trying to catch them, and actually look at the gap for Gunn and in-house. Rene Osterkamp, very quiet races for both of them. Shame we can't give them too much sponsor time.
Yeah, it's always like that when you have one guy running away in the lead, but you know, we can't take anything away from Gunnar so far. He's had a lot of bad luck this season, and so far this race, hopefully I won't commentate to curse another driver in this race, but so far he's doing a very good job with Oskamp. Not too many seconds behind, but not quite putting the pressure on at the moment. And we saw Mittner still in the podium position with a Nolden, also within a second or so behind of him, so that might be a battle shaken up later in the race, as Koch as well looking good for a top 5.
Yes, the gaps are starting to open up here as the pit stop window comes along here. And well, you're looking at Gunnar Nienhaus. He is absolutely soaring right now. Heads into the corner of Brooklands then for the 12th time. We're going to cut back then to Knut Martinsen here because he has caught the back of Jean-Francois Godin into the right-hander of Abbey. They come along and well, can the wounded soldier continue to keep Martinsen behind? Well, into the right-hander they come along of the corner known as Bridge. Into Priory they come along, and well, this infield stadium section, almost a little bit like Hockenheim's Plumley. He's going to go around. He's going to drop himself out of 8th place. There, go yourself 180. Pull yourself back. You have dropped yourself outside the top 10, and a veteran makes a rookie mistake.
Yeah, it's such an easy mistake to make as well. Oh, and as we actually got a first pitter in the race, that would be Godin. Yeah, you got to say, this is a very early pit stop because the pit window shouldn't be too large around here, but you know, obviously it's taking the first opportunity to go in and get that damage fixed as much as possible that it's been suffering. And I reckon Cowie further down the field might also choose to do the same, as we're now focusing on Patrick Kessler on lap number 15, who's behind Martinsen now. And it's going to be a one-on-one battle with Godin out of the picture for these guys as we go through that club section again, which is unusual for these guys, different from what we've used in previous Star Master seasons with this historic layout here today. And Kessler, they're using a lot of the off-track there. You don't actually get an incident point from the game, surprisingly, by doing that, and he's gained a lot of slipstream and speed from doing it. He's going to have this inside line there, but Martin's actually carrying the speed on the outside as Nienhaus, another fastest lap of the race, as Martinsen just about to fence for now, but this will be a very interesting battle to follow.
Most certainly reminds you of Watkins Glen turn number 1 there, the 90, where you can go and take 5 wide into turn number 1, but then it will bottleneck up back into 3, and well, you don't get a penalty there, you don't get a penalty here, as they head themselves down the front straight away. Once again, you can see the Abbey and Santander signs there across the track there as well. Sponsorship gets their own little section on circuit. That's how it all works here. As Patrick Kessler, he's going to remain behind Martinsen for the time being, but it's all about that run out of Chapel here. Maggotts and Beckett's are very important as corners. You head into the left, now into the right, and now into the left there. You pass the right-hander to lead onto the Wellington straight, and now you hit that right-hander here of Chapel, and it's so important to get a stunning run. And actually, Patrick Kessler's got a very good run here. No DRS as stated previously before in multiple broadcasts, but you can see just how important the slipstream is in this 2.0. Hard to the inside goes Martinsen, to the outside, side by side. as they head themselves down into Stowe. Will the move happen? Round the outside. Then goes Kessler. Will he get it sorted? Well, he continues to hold that inside line here, and it's all going to be dependent on the run down through here. And well, he holds on for the time being. That is a lap there, Fizzy, of fantastic setting up in order to make the move work.
Yeah, indeed. Great driving from Kessler, really, to pull that off around the outside again. But you can just see once again how big of a slipstream effect you can get when you're this close to the car ahead, which is why it's such an important to drop and not drop several tenths behind. Oh, and Martinsen might have a cheeky dive there, but he backs out of it. Kessler's gonna run wide though. He's gonna run wide. He's been scared off the track maybe a little bit from that little look that Martinsen gave him into turn 13, and he's gonna drop back down again. He's gonna have to do the hard work all over again to get that position back.
Yes, he is. They're not ideal at all, and actually they're going to try and run a long stint here because we're just over the halfway stage. Lap 18. Kerry Nolden then here in third at the moment. Nienhuis, your race leaders, come in. He's fighting Michael Mittner then as he heads himself down into Bridge once again. How many times can I say Bridge? I like to play a card game as much as I like, but no. Into Priory they come along, and well, for the time being, Kerry Nolden is going to have to wait behind the Godfather, waiting for his orders here to make sure he gets himself through. Will either of these two come in this time by? Oh, well, Fizzy, this is going to be the important question here. Actually, you can see just how wide they're going to run. Kerry Nolden down onto pit road. He's looking for the undercut.
Yeah, he's gonna lose himself no time with that entry. He ran so wide an exit out of left field there, and just cut back into the pit lane and managed to slow it down nicely. So he's gonna make the stop before Mittner, trying to go for that undercut. Obviously, he don't change tires in this league, so he's not gonna have a tire advantage on the undercut. But he will just get himself that clean air, hopefully for him anyway, that he needs to make the move down in the pit lane.
Most certainly he will. Looking at Patrick Kessler and Martinsen once again here as they head themselves. And actually, here on the right-hand side, here comes Kerry Nolden out of pit lane. He's not got the speed, so through will go Patrick Kessler for the time being. Not retrospective, but now Kessler's going to be in a little bit of a middle of a sandwich which used to be called AOR there, but now he's in a little bit of a pickle here. Heads himself now through Chapel here into the left-hander, leading onto then the hangar straight once again. Hangar, because, well, there used to be an old World War II hangar here, housing all those lovely Spitfires and what have you, and Lancasters, into then the right-hander of Stowe. They come along, and, well, Fizzy, Patrick Kessler's not got to have to worry here. He might have a Season 1 champion behind him, but what he has to do is stay calm as he runs a little bit wide, actually, through Stowe.
Also, as the end of the track, that is not able to go on the grass there, but he managed to keep the speed nicely. And, of course, this is not what Nolden would have wanted. He went into the pit lane to try and jump Mittner, who he was very close with, but he's fallen right behind Kessler and Martinsen on track, which is surely going to cost him some time. You know, these guys aren't slow exactly, but surely Nolden in clean air would have been able to run a higher pace than he has now with trying to get past these guys, and Kessler just not making it easy for him whatsoever. And as I say that, comment occurs, he runs wide and gives Kerry Nolden the position. So only going to have Martinsen, and there's the back marker there. I believe that's Leister, who missed the start, just running around a couple of laps down the field. But given the unusually small grid size there, he's actually still within the points.
Yes, Renault 2.0 then just coming out of pit lane. You can see Gunnar Nienhuis already through Cops, and well, there's two ways you can take the pit exit there. There's two different lines, and well, Nienhuis, he has done it all perfectly here as he heads himself there through the right of Chapel right now there as he heads himself along 079 out and ahead, and well, you can see that gap. It's dominant. Nolden, he has got a way through past Patrick Kessler. Now he's got to find a way past Martinsen here, and he was stuck in traffic. And that is the last thing you want to do when coming out of the pit lane. You ideally want to find a gap. He couldn't find it. Now he's got to work doubly hard, and he might lose out to Michael Mittner, who's staying out longer and using all of his tyre life here into the right-hander of Stowe. And well, for Kerry Nolden, well, he hasn't had a race win here so far, but if this is good, well, he's had 2 race wins here so far, but at this rate, he's not going to get his third. His 100% ratio is going to go, Fizzy.
Yeah, it's looking very tough for that to keep going, and obviously this is still costing Nolden quite a bit on time. He's obviously a sensible driver. He's not going to try anything stupid, but he's definitely being held up. But now maybe there's a chance into the bridge corner on the inside of Martinsen, who doesn't defend all too hard. Former teammates, of course, and Nolden takes that position finally, but it still remains to be seen now for him where Mittner will come out once he pits. Mittner actually is in the lead right now. He's one of the few guys who have yet to pit in the race. Koch Reed as well in the top 3 right now without having pitted. Saying that, I saw Nienhuis getting up to 3rd, so Reed's actually in the pit, and so is Christian Koch.
Yes, he is. Patrick Kessler then drops himself onto pit road right now. Jean-Francois Godin down in 12th. Hello. He's going to have a little bit of a fight with Evan Imre there in the 999 machine. 999 versus 99 here. Battle of the Nines. Well, Imre's going to run wide. He's going to get scared off the circuit. And, well, he's going to continue on his merry way. But he's going to have to worry about Robert Plumley behind. He drops a position. Actually, Manuel Hoyer here with Christian Koch as well as they head themselves side by side through Magnus and Beckett. There's contact. Ooh. And Hoyer's going to go round. And Christian Koch continues on his way. Unbelievable scenes. Manuel Hoyer was in a personal best top 10 finish. And it's all gone horribly wrong.
Oh, wow. That was, I think that was just them going in there with an extreme speed difference because Koch was coming out of the pit lane while Hoyer was coming out of turn 1, of course, with higher speed. Just got ahead, and I don't think maybe Koch wasn't quite aware of him being there and, you know, with the closing speed that he had. And it didn't look like he gave him all too much speed or room even on the left side of the track. So it remains to be seen whether that'll be taken to the stewards, you know. Hoyer obviously will have a frustrating time of it, considering he was running in 6th before, but just had a couple of incidents now and is not looking quite as good for him.
No, Michael Mittler then, race leader, comes in, and there is Gunnar Nienhuis. It shows you just how far ahead he was coming into the pit stops. He rounds the final corner, and well, pit stops are only around 3-4 seconds here in this series, and well, there's not really too much that you can do. It's actually Christian Koch is going to go and spin it. He's going to go 180. He's going to have to park it on the racing line, get himself around. Great avoidance there. Manuel Hoyer almost making it a second straight incident there. Through will go Phil Reed, and for Christian Koch, it's not ideal. René Osterkamp coming around, so Michael Mittner could not close that gap any further down during that stint. He's going to have to wait behind as the top 3 now starts to look fizzy. It looks a little bit processional.
Yeah, we can see, of course, what things stand, how things stand after the pit stops have all shaken out. No one going hard on that Maggots curve, and he's definitely lost a bit of time to Mittner, not all too much. You might have thought he would have lost even more than this, given how long he had to battle Kessler and Martinsen further down the grid, but he's definitely a couple of seconds further back than he was before. But we know he has to pace around Silverstone always to maybe close that down as we got side by side through turn 1. Plumley a lot later on the brakes into Kops there. Imre settling behind but might get a better exit as a result of it. Oh, and Kessler sneaks through. I think Martinsen came out of the pit lane. Kessler managing to jump him, and actually then, actually I can't remember whether he was ahead or behind before the pit, but it doesn't matter. He's ahead now. Martinsen this time is the man who has to make the move.
Yes, he is there. Martinsen struggling there. Kessler's through, and there actually is Jean-Francois Godin lurking in the shadows behind. It seems the damage is fixed there. So great job from the Zephyr crew. And well, Robert Plumley now trying to break away from Evan Imre. That's going to be one that you need to look out for here. Battle for the final spot in your top 10 at the moment here, as we're going to cut away to lap 24 of 32. The end is nigh. Here, this is how the field looks. Nienhuis, Osterkamp, Mittner, Kerry Nolden closing that gap down, doing everything he needs to do here as he heads himself now into the right and now the left. You can see he doesn't use too much of that tarmac there on the right-hand side, and actually he's going to run a little bit wide as he heads himself down in, and actually that's going to cause him to have another half spin. Well, it's been the fault of Nolden, the Godfather. Well, he's without a few traits there, and well, he's going to need to send a missionary, because that is a real shame. He spins it, he drops not a position but a lot of time as Koch and Phil Reed, so they go scrapping at it once again.
Man, Nolden will be so frustrated with himself. It's been the story of his season, hasn't it? He's really had the pace to be right at the front in so many of the races, but he keeps making these small mistakes that just put him further back than where he really needs to be, and it's happened again. Maybe has given Mittner the space he needs to pull off that podium finish, as Koch getting super close to Phil Reed out of turn number 1, but it's a hard section coming up. Maggots Beckett, one of the most nice sections to drive, as I mentioned, and maybe having a think there, but obviously not much of a braking zone there, so he's going to have to make the move on the straight, hanging straight down into Stowe. This is where many overtakes have been happening, and the slipstream will be helping him a lot. Phil Reed this time is going to defend the inside line. He usually likes to be on the outside, but defending now with oh, look at that!
Cross the beams. Hello there. Unbelievable move there from Christian Koch. Pass of the season so far, and it might not be over here as they head themselves into Vale and Club. here. Unbelievable. It looked like he wanted to go and do a Phil Reed special. He didn't. He duped him. He sold him the dummy like Schumacher did so many times in his red Ferrari. But now you look at Phil Reed. It's all about how he responds from here. Of course, he's a man not without controversy. He's had a couple of incidents with Zephyr cars over the past few weeks. But now you look into the left-hander of Priory, and actually Christian Koch is going to run a little bit wide there, so he's going to lose a little bit of time, and this is going to allow Phil Reed to close up. Absolutely sensational battling here for 5th place on circuit. Of course, still a constructors' battle to be had as well. And well, for Christian Koch, a driver who in his first 3 races has had 3 podiums, 3 third-place finishes, well, it's not looking like it's going to be a reality here today, but this is a fantastic battle. Nevertheless, to the inside, Phil Reed, turn number 1, Kopp's corner. Not going to happen, but Christian Koch's going to run wide at Kopp's, and well, he's going to lose the position anyway.
Wow, this is excellent racing for these guys. 2 feisty racers, as we know. Koch having shown himself from that side, of course, in his first few races, especially Nürburgring, where they had pulled off some great moves as well. Very late breaking moves, and that move on the previous lap that he did here, maybe he'll try to repeat now. I think Phil Reed, though, will be a little bit wiser to it now. He won't be caught up on the dummy twice in a row. He's that experience, and of course the reigning champion if you count the Pro Master Leagues. And oh, a big slide there from Koch, but he controls it well, but has to settle behind him as he lost a bit of speed through the corner.
Combat in close quarters here. It's Austria versus England. Maybe it's a little bit of a showdown. Very good contest if you're talking about the World War II battle, but enough about that. We're going to continue about the battle in the road, not in the skies. Here as they head themselves towards Abbey here, the left-hander. And well, you can see Christian Koch, he's not going to go away. He's going to go to the inside here as they head into the right-hander. They're going to be side-by-side for Priory. And Phil Reed holds on once again. Looking to get that cutback, massive twitch from Koch. And he's going to drop all the time that he needed here as he is pushing so hard. And so is Phil Reed. You can see them, they're twitching every single corner. They are going at their absolute limit. Stunning stuff. And this is certainly one to look out for as the last 6 laps come into fruition.
Yeah, this is really shaping up to be one of the battles of the season, I have to say. Both of them pushing to the absolute limit. But we have another battle here, though, on lap 27. Only 5 and a bit laps to go. Godin trying to make up further positions. Yeah, definitely has fixed that damage in the pit lane. As he's now looking very, very fast once again. Around the outside there on Martin's beautiful move once again by him. And next up for him on the road is Patrick Kessler. Second or so ahead. Oh, and Koch and Reed still going at it through Priory here. Oh, he's literally showing himself in the mirrors every single corner, despite running a little bit wide there. He's still right at the back of him. And Jake, will this battle go onto the flag? I really think it will.
I hope it does as well. This is really something. Well, Jean-Francois Godin trying to pull himself back through the order here, trying to recover his race, trying to recover at any points he can in the championship. But we're going to focus on his teammate in that number 7 car there in 6th position. How very ironic. Into the right of Kopp's corner they come along. Will he get a good run this time by? Of course, Fury does not have any form of slipstream to help him out at all. Here as they head through Maggots and Beckett's once again. A fantastic stretch of corners, as I've stated previously. He might have a look into the inside of Beckett's. No, not going to happen. Chappell, right-hander, not going to be all about that run. It is going to be all about that run, actually, because you can see he's going to be all over that Aperture Motorsport gearbox. Get the portal gun out. He's going to try and go around the outside. Is it going to be a Fury special? Well, I think he's pulled out just a little bit too late. Doesn't have enough top end on that car. He will lose out on that move around the outside. Not going to happen, but he's really trying. Actually, he's going to run over the grass. They're very lucky not to lose it there. And, well, you can see heading through the left and then the right. It's so fantastic here. And, well, if you talk about Martin Kroenke, Gregor Hutu as a battle, talk about this one here. Jean-Francois Godin, Patrick Kessler to the inside. He's going along into Stowe Fisi. And, well, is this going to be a comfortable move? Answer to that one is going to be affirmative to the inside. Jean-Francois Godin recovers. He's now up in 7th.
Yeah, Godin in showing that he can overtake it. So, Martinsen around the outside, Kessler up the inside as Koch now might pull off and move through bridge. They got up side by side there once again. Koch on the inside, Phil Reed round the outside as he usually does, and he holds on to that for now. He's only got 2 and a bit laps to defend from Christian Koch to get this 5th place, which, it's only a matter of 2 or so points in the championship for this one position, which can be crucial, of course, but, most of all, it's down to wanting to win the battle. It's down to pride for these drivers. They want to show who is the best one on the day, and so far it's Reed, but Koch very much still in the fight.
Yes, this was a battle for your race lead here. We'd be saying this would be fight of the season, but unfortunately it's only a battle for 5th and 6th on circuit here. But you can see Christian Koch, he's having to try and do the difficult thing. He's trying to make sure that Phil Reed makes that mistake somewhere. Well, we've seen it a couple of times before. We saw it at Spa, very first race of the season, collecting timer cleared as well. And well, you can see exactly what he wants. A very good run is needed here. And well, Phil Reed's trying everything to maximise his line. You can see he's already hard on that inside line. He doesn't want to give an inch, not one iota, here to the outside. Christian Koch will have to try and go. And well, he's not going to get it that time by. He might try and hold it, but no. He's going to run a little bit wide once again. He's trying to push all the limits that he possibly can, and it's not quite working out. It'll be 2 laps to go when they cross the start-finish line. And Fisi, this is unbelievable. This is some really beautiful close quarters battling.
It really is. It has to be one of the best battles I've seen in this league. You know, this, as you mentioned, is the same. It's not for the lead of the race, because that would have been insane. But still, it's a battle nonetheless, and with 2 amazing drivers. And Koch, once again, we're left 31 now. Once again, getting a good exit through the historical club section, and this time they're not quite close enough to once again go through bridge side by side, which I've done so many times. Once again, looking a little bit up the inside, but Phil Reed is experienced enough to not get scared off the track there, as we've seen a few other drivers in the race do so far. And well, Gunnar Nienhuis out in the lead. I started the final lap, Jake, so he's looking good, but this battle is far from over.
Far from over indeed. One more opportunity then for these two. This is going to be fantastic. We'll try and hold this one with you as long as we possibly can. Nienhuis out and away. He has done everything perfect, but Christian Koch is a little bit further back than he has been on previous laps into Koch's corner. He comes along and, well, he's going to try and maximise that apex. Out to in to out. It's so important here as you head yourself. It's actually very bumpy on the run here. Down to the left of Maggot. Now into the right. The left of Beckett's going up, and actually he's closed up a tree. Oh, massive twitch! And he's going to sacrifice his run. And I believe that is battle over. Koch was pushing. He really pushed. He didn't expect Phil Reed to be that slow through that corner. And Phil Reed, well, he's just chanced it. And he's very lucky that he didn't have a bit of Aperture Motorsports in his car. But we're going to focus on Gunnar Nienhuis. Just a couple of corners to go. Bridge. Priory, the left-hander here, and well, it's been certainly something to see. He's just got out from lap 1, and he hasn't looked back. He's done everything perfect, and well, we haven't given him too much camera time, but who matters about that? Because Gunnar Nienhuis will only become the 2nd driver to get 2 wins this season. Nienhuis to the line, wins at Silverstone, and breaks his Ducker finishing to boot as well. And well, René Osterkamp will come back in 2nd as well. Just a little bit further back there, you can see Hydroforce Racing. He's done a stellar job in that one, and Michael Mittner will take the final spot on the podium. Fisi, absolutely brilliant racing here, but the answer is, what has happened between Phil Reed and Christian Koch? Answer, Phil Reed will come home in 5th.
He is looking like he's not going to throw that away now. He obviously was given the little gap with the small mistake that Koch made behind him in the Maggots-Beckett's section. That was all he needed. It just shows, you know, when the drivers are this closely contested, just a little mistake like that can determine the whole battle, and that's what it did. But what a battle it was, and actually, maybe, you know, it's going to be too soon to the line, unfortunately, for Martinsen, who was very close behind Kessler as well in the battle for 8th, and of course, ahead of them, Jean-Francois Goudzin, the championship leader going into the race, and probably still will be because he had quite a gap, but definitely losing some points on some of his rivals here by finishing 7th.
Yes, definitely there. You can see the last of the cars starting to head towards the line. Evan Imre, one of them who didn't have the best of days. Andy Carey, actually, that's one to talk about. Surprisingly down the order. Same for Leon Robinson, 12th and 13th respectively. Manuel Hoyer, what could have been? He was running looking towards a top 5 finish possibly, but it didn't quite turn out in the end. Satalamakia, ghost race. Haven't really seen too much of him, and this is the first mention I've really had since the start of the broadcast. But Gunnar Nienhuis, 079. Well, he wants to take the fight to Jean-Francois Godin, and well, he'll certainly have a donut after that, because that was one which he thoroughly deserved. Race results coming up for you right around about now, and well, who can blame you, because Gunnar Nienhuis, in the end, pole position, fastest lap, no clean race bonus, but he takes the win by 5.4 seconds over René Osterkamp in 2nd. Michael Mittner there, 10 seconds back in 3rd, with Carey Nolden there in 4th. His teammate Phil Reed, he'll finish 5th. Zephyr Racing then next, 6th and 7th. Koch outclassing actually Jean-Francois Godin for the second time this season. And well, Patrick Kessler 8th, Knut Martinsen there in 9th, Robert Plumley there rounding out the top 10, 48 seconds off the pace. Well, it just shows you what sort of pace that Gunnar Nienhuis had. Evan Imre there on page number 2 there in 11th place. Andy Cowie there finishing 12th. Leo Robinson down the field also in 13th. Manuel Hoyer and Vittorio Satalamacchia there last of the cars on the lead lap. And then the cars that were 1 lap down. Chris Robinson for Robinson Racing. Christoph Leister 2 laps down. And well, the cars that failed to finish. Donstigen, Bella Fronte, Jamie Coldham, Steve Kager there involved in a lap 1 incident. And well, Richard Grimley and Frederick Johansson involved in that one as well. Maybe the stewards will have something to say. But for now, we will get you some driver interviews. And we're going to start off with your race winner. And his name is Gunnar Nienhuis. Joined here in the commentary box is our race winner here. This is Gunnar Nienhuis. Gunnar, a fantastic win again. Very similar to the win that you had in Monza. You just broke away from the field, and once you broke away, there was going to be nobody who was going to stop you here around Silverstone. And of course, this is a track that you don't actually like. You hadn't actually finished a race before this, so a race win's really rejuvenated your chance for the title, surely.
Yeah, thanks very much. The win was very great, and like you said, this was my 3rd AOR race on Silverstone, and I crashed in 2 of them. So I was very happy to take pole position and to lead the race all the way. René's pace was actually really good, so it wasn't an easy win at all. I had to keep pushing for all laps long to keep the gap the same, and René did a very great job in his pace. But I'm glad I didn't have any mistakes this time and took home the win.
Yes, certainly. And for you, it's been a case of a couple of mistakes here, a couple of mistakes there. We've seen you make mistakes at Spa, mistakes at Zandvoort, mistakes at Phillip Island, and mistakes at Donington as well. And well, although sometimes they can't be your fault, you do have to sit there and think, maybe my luck's not here. So do you think this is a turning point in your season? Do you think now you are in the prime position to go take the driver's title away from Jean-Francois Godin?
There's still a chance. I hope so, that my bad luck has ended. Like Gary said, this is my season of hell, and bad luck has been there all along, and I really hope in the last 4 races I can continue like I did on Silverstone and like I did on Monza. So we'll see how it goes. It all depends on what JF is gonna do. So we'll just keep the pressure on him, and he has to perform, and we'll just follow and see what he does.
Yes, certainly. And well, looking now at the Constructors' Championship, you have hired your own brother back, so the reunion's there for iRacing. It's now part of Carbon, which is always going to be nice to see Carbon getting 2 members back in. We haven't seen that since the days of Patrick White and Harley Lewis. So do you think that the Constructors' Championship is something that you're going to focus on very strongly in the next few seasons, or is that going to be a back burner thought?
No, that's definitely the reason why Yannick joined the team, because the Constructors' Championship is pretty fun to run as well, and on my own I have no chance at all. So definitely for next season, and Yannick has still a lot to learn, but I think we can start competing in the next season, and who knows, maybe another Carbon driver will join.
Most certainly another Carbon driver could join the outlet, but for the time being, Gunnar Nienhuis, a race winner for the 2nd time this season, the 2nd man to do it so far here at a historic Silverstone Grand Prix.
Thanks, Jake.
No worries. Next up in the commentary box, we're joined by René Osterkamp. René, well, it has to be said that a 2nd place for you again is really good. It's your 3rd 2nd place of the season. It was a very, very similar race to that of Monza. You got out into 2nd place and Gunnar just broke away. Is that the result that you were looking for today?
Oh yes, that was. I didn't think of it to get 2nd place. I in practice I wasn't that fast. I was like half a second behind Gunnar. Somehow in qualifying I made a super good lap and was only 1/10 behind him. And yeah, I started from 2nd. The start went really good. Could hold on to the 2nd place, and I was really lucky. The guys behind me kept battling, so I could pull away. Just everything like Monza. It's like completely the same.
Yeah, definitely. And well, for you, the Drivers' Championship is something that you're focusing on quite heavily. You're up there fighting, I believe, second in the championship right now. For you, the guys around you have already had a drop week here and a drop week there. Is that something that's playing on your mind as a disadvantage at all, or is that something you're going to play to your advantage knowing that you've been consistent all season?
No, I don't really think about drop weeks. Yeah, I actually don't even look at the table, at the scoreboard. So I just race each race and do my best, and yeah, the end is at the end.
You say you don't look at the championship standings, but for you it's been an absolutely fantastic season. Just coming off the back of actually your breakout season, as it were, here, after getting your first win at Nordschleife last season, and now coming into this season with a lot of consistency in a tougher field. Is this how you imagined things would go this season? Is this where you thought you'd be with 4 races to go?
Not at all. With Kerry coming back and already the other fast guys, I was thinking about top 5 places at the best. But now 3 times on second place is really awesome. Haven't thought about that at all.
Oh, well, it's been really awesome indeed. And for you, a second place finish today at a historic Silverstone layout here. René Osterkamp, Hydroforce Racing, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
We're joined in the commentary box now with Michael Mittner. Michael, for you, it's only your second podium of the season so far here at Silverstone, and well, for you it had to be a little bit of a procession, didn't it? You didn't really have too many guys to fight. Of course, you got your way through on Kerry Nolden, and then after that it just seemed like a time trial for you.
Yeah, it was exactly a time trial for me. I tried to catch René in front of me, but it was impossible. He had very good pace. So I just focused on myself, and yeah, Kerry behind me was putting a lot of pressure on me, but he closed the gap, of course. He was in draft range, but then he had a mistake, so I had a bit of space. Then shortly before the pit stops, he was in draft range again, then he pitted 2 or 3 laps earlier. After my pit stop I had again a 2-second gap and he closed the gap again. So, and then he did another mistake. Yeah, and after this it was done. I had a 5-second lead to Kerry, and yeah, in the end I was happy to bring home that podium.
Most certainly you should be, and well, looking at yourself in the Drivers' Championship, you do stand third at the moment, and that's without drop weeks, but you look at the drop weeks putting in, and you look at the guys around you, the likes of Nienhuis, the likes of Nolden, the likes of Reed, who have already used up their quota and therefore their points count. And for you, you're a driver who's put in some consistent results early on, you've got some good top 10 finishes, but now are you thinking that you need to start racking up heavier points in order to try and counteract the balance of you being in a position where you don't have the ability of not having any points to drop, therefore not having any races to lose, as it were?
Yeah, I think no, I wouldn't say that, because I have to finish consistently because we want to win the team championship. So I'm not going to risk everything just for the driver championship. I hope for some more podium finishes. And man, it's very unrealistic for me to win the driver championship, but I will try my best, and we focus more on the team championship.
Most certainly, and for you in the team's championship, you are 14 points clear at the moment without drop weeks applied. For you, it's difficult because you know that Zephyr and Aperture are 2 fantastic teams with 2 fantastic drivers, and of course you and Andy have been sensational this season, always putting in the performance when you've needed to. For you, consistency's been the key. With such strong teams now coming into the final 4 races, are you looking to try and get some really solid results and hope that a little bit of misfortune comes their way, or are you looking to try and beat them outright?
Yeah, as I mentioned before, I try to run consistent, and so when I can drive my normal pace, top 5 is always possible. Jean-Francois has still 1 drop week to use, so that's not so bad. Of course, I also have 1 drop week to use, but yeah, we just try, and after round 12 and we are still in P1, that would be unbelievable success for us. And yeah, we will try all we have.
Most certainly you will, and here is Michael Mittner then, a third place finish today at the historic circuit layout here of Silverstone. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And well, the gap at the top of the Drivers' Championship is effectively cut. It was 39 points, it's down to 31. René Oosterkamp with his second place finish, his third of the season so far. He will drag himself now up into second, ahead of Michael Mittner. Gunnar Nienhuis there in fourth there. He's just behind Michael Mittner by 10 points, but will leapfrog in terms of drop weeks there. You can see on the right hand side. And well, a lot of 0 points there. Kerry Nolden, Christian Takash, who was not actually here present today. Phil Reed here, well, he's on 121 points, trying to recover his season. Liam Robertson there, and Christian Koch breaking into the top 10 now. It just shows you how good 4 very strong finishes can get you in this series. Looking back down second page there, you can see Martinsen with Johansson there on 80 points. Robert Plumley doing a good job there. He's on 68 points with Patrick Kessler 1 point behind. And well, Evan Imre, Christoph Leister, Bruno Dometer, another driver who didn't show up today, Chris Robinson, Steve Kagerer, Lionel Alberto not here either there for the Frenchman. And well, looking down, Manuel Hoyer trying to climb up the field, the Independence driver there. 12th there for the long-lost relative to the sweeper keeper. And well, final page there you can see still a few drivers there who are yet to score points, and still some drivers with a couple of points there. And well, LM Rennsport, they still hold on for the time being, 14 points overall, but that will surely change with drop weeks applied. Aperture Motorsport there will sit in third. It's a 3-way dogfight for your Constructors' Championship right now. Hydroforce Racing holding out the station in fourth at the moment. Carbon Racing fifth. Team Tortoise there in sixth position. Red Devolution, they're also dropping a point down to 7th there. Robinson Racing in 8th, LM Racing 9th, Force Fisi rounding out the top 10 in that respect. And there you can see Kinducci, TDT, North Atlantic Racing. So now we look at the season schedule, and well, the next track up is the land of the rising sun, Mie Prefecture there in Japan. We're heading to Suzuka for what will be a sensational race. And well, now the season gets to crunch time. You have to say, whoever wins at Suzuka has to be in the prime position and in full control when they come towards these final 4 races.
Yeah, certainly. We're very close to the end of the season, and Gutzin will be looking, of course, next time out to extend that championship lead he needs, especially with the potential of having to miss the final race, as you mentioned earlier. And of course, the rest of the guys will be needing to close the gap as well if they want to keep any hopes of the championship alive. It should be very interesting.
Most certainly, you have to say that it's all going to be down on everyone to do the best they can. I've been Jake Sparey, that has been Fizzy, and well, Jean-Francois Gadin makes his first major slip-up on the run into the title. Gunnar Nienhuis waiting to pounce. This is the biggest opportunity. Don't go away. 4 races to go. Next time out, round 9, Suzuka. Good night.